Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Everton News Daily. I'm sure we're all feeling a lot better today after a fantastic 3 points on Saturday. Duncan Ferguson taking charge of his first game as caretaker manager of Everton. And really that's what all the talk has been about since then. Who will be taking over? Does Duncan deserve a chance? And what's going to happen? We're really no closer to knowing as we speak. In terms of managers, there's a lot of managers out there. Niko Kovac was at the game on Saturday. Apparently he was on a fact-finding mission. He went to watch Manchester City as well, so he's not really involved. Rafa Benitez has been on Monday Night Football tonight. He's ruled himself out of returning to the Premier League, whether it be Everton or West Ham. What else would he say? He's got a job in China, but he has ruled himself out for the time being. The favourite is still Vitor Pereira from Duncan Ferguson, who's the second favourite, which I still find to be a very, very strange link, considering where he is now and what he's doing and what he's done in the game in the last 3-4 years since we were linked with him last time. So I'm not really feeling that one, if I'm honest. Gallardo, the River Plate coach, who it seemed like last week had committed himself to River Plate for the near future. He could be a free agent after the cup final on Friday. He is not committed, apparently, to River Plate. There had been reports that he'd committed himself for a further 2 years, but apparently they are wide of the mark, and he could be a free agent on Friday. I don't know whether that would tempt Everton to go for him or whether they spoke to anyone. But certainly, as we speak, there's no clear favourite, although Pereira is the favourite. But you know what I mean. There's no real favourite in terms of who is going to come in. So it's still Duncan Ferguson at the moment. Another name that got mentioned today is Emery, obviously the former Arsenal manager who got the sack only, 3 weeks ago. Former Seville manager, did very, very well with them, got 3 Europa Leagues, went to Paris Saint-Germain and didn't win the league, where I think I could win the league. A manager I really, really wanted before Ronald Koeman got the job. I thought he was the right man, but he's come to the Premier League and I think he's just struggled with the same kind of things Marco Silva struggled with, if I'm honest. The intensity, the expectation, and also the language, getting across what he wants to not only the fans, but maybe some of the players. Discipline seemed to be a problem on the pitch. They had the whole problem with Granit Xhaka on the pitch, disrespecting, the captain's armband, letting the players decide who's going to be the captain. It's been spoken about today that Everton have approached him, but for me, I just think we're looking at the same kind of managers, and that would bring the same kind of problems to Everton. And for me, I don't know. I'm split really. Duncan Ferguson, I would love to see him be the Everton manager. I just don't know whether this is the right time, or maybe if you put people around them with really good experience. But I don't want to make a decision with my heart rather than my head. And I'd expect Everton to make the decision with their head. But some of the names I see at the moment, none of them inspire any confidence in me whatsoever. So it'll be interesting to see what happens to Duncan Ferguson this week. Obviously, he'll take the training this week as he is the manager, because he could be the manager on Sunday as we travel to Old Trafford, and that'll be a really interesting one. A man in very similar position in January in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with a good run of form. He got the job, and then people have questioned it, but they're back in with a good run of form. Obviously, they won the Manchester Derby the weekend, so there's a little example. But obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has experience. He'd been a Premiership manager before, only briefly, of course, with Cardiff, and didn't really do a very good job. But he has managed in Norway for a long time with Mould. So there are comparisons, but I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had far more experience than Duncan Ferguson has. So it's, for me, there is no clear favourite. I just don't know, but I think how Everton have to respond is by bringing a manager in who can get Goodison like it was on Saturday and can get Everton playing with that kind of intensity. That's going to be a very, very difficult job now, following the performance to Chelsea at the weekend. Following on from that performance, obviously Luca Dean and Theo Walcott went off injured. No updates from them as we stand. Hopefully we'll hear a lot more about them in the next few days. Obviously, Luca Dean and Theo Walcott would be a big loss to the squad to travel to Old Trafford, because they both played really, really well. And the last thing we want going into the hectic Christmas period is to be carrying a lot of injuries, and we already lost Yerry Mina at the weekend. We've already lost most of our midfield, so we can't really afford to be losing any more players. So hopefully we'll find out more about those players going forward. And Besiktas have come out and said they can't afford to take Cenk Tosun. There have been links with the player who obviously didn't get a look in on Saturday, and I don't think we'll get much of a look in going forward. He'll probably be looking for a move to make sure he's playing ahead of the Euros for Turkey, but Besiktas have ruled themselves out. So there you go. This has been the Everton News Daily. Make sure to check out The Final Word. It is already out. Go and watch that. And all the videos we've got out. We've just done a live show on Patreon. If you're on Patreon, go and check that out. Yeah, so there you have it. Click the bell for alerts so you know exactly when a video comes out. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you want more great videos, join us on Patreon. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching Toffee TV. I'll see you later.